Yeah, hello, this is my third live stream. Yeah, after hours. Today it's about Node-RED. I like Node-RED, especially in hackathons, and I like the easy setup on IBM Cloud. And there are some small changes inside IBM Cloud for the setup, and I just want to update that, and that's about that live stream. So I have here an empty lite account, so that means that a lite account at IBM Cloud creates no costs. Yeah, so I have no service currently running here. So, and I will go to create here an Node-RED instance using the Node-RED here, Node-RED app. That means that's a starter kit for the setup. Okay, I'm going to start. For those of you who haven't seen my last video about the setup, in total it's more or less the same as it was before. Yeah, that's the first. What we will see is an app, and the app will be the single point of entry of everything what is related to the instantiation of our Node-RED instance on IBM Cloud. You can see here that's the source code which we will use and where it comes from. Yeah, actively working on that. Yeah, that's the source code. And we will use a Cloudant database. The Cloudant database will store the flow configurations, everything which is related to the Cloudant, not to the Cloudant, to the Node-RED. Yeah, when you install it locally, it's saved on a device in your Raspberry Pi, and here we use the Cloudant. Okay, we start with the app. Once again, keep in mind the app is not the app instance of the Node-RED application. Keep that in mind. So here I will indicate that we will use this is the app, and we will use for the creation Cloud Foundry. The cool thing with the Cloud Foundry is that it's free in the lite account. Yeah, so everything what we are going to do is there's no cost, and we really can ensure because we only use a lite account. Yeah, and that is what is really cool. And then the next is here you can see that is where I want to instantiate the Cloudant. That's in a moment. I leave the defaults. You will see when I walk through what maybe changes. So okay, then I say, hey, yeah, that's fine for me. Let's create. So we are going to create now the app, and the app, yeah, now the app is created. The app, when we take a look in the resource list, because now it takes a little bit for the creation of the Cloudant database itself. That's a Cloudant service. So let's open up a new tab with the resource list. I create a new tab of the resource list, and then here we will see what is already created. Yeah, so we can see we have an app here, and yeah, that's the database. Yeah, it is a provisioning process. So we're going back. Yeah, it takes a little bit, and the big difference between the last video and now is that we will use Tekton for the continuous integration and continuous delivery. So ready to go. We have our service here in place, and the next is we will going to deploy our application. So let's go to deploy the application. You can see we have here different flavors, but the flavors are not for us all, yeah, because we have a lite account, and Here I will select the Cloud Foundry, which is free. You can also create a free Kubernetes cluster when you have a trial account and deploy it to there. And the rest is for sure, yeah, with the Red Hat OpenShift and the code engine. It's with a pay-as-you-go account. And with the code engine, there is also some free tier, yeah. So that means you do not have to pay, and you can also try it out. And that's very brand new part inside IBM Cloud in 21. So we in 21. Okay, because when we do continuous delivery or continuous integration, we do automate processes, and so for that we need an API key for our cloud, IBM Cloud, so that the automation can be set up. So I create here a key. The name is for me okay, so that's what's there, and you can see that is the region for the Cloud Foundry. And I frequently got some questions, and that is the reason why I now directly jump into a topic which is not directly in the flow. Yeah, but I will do it now. Maybe, yeah, you do not have here a region and all that shown, and if that is the case, yeah, then go to I would say here manage and say here open up it in account. So, and directly go to the orgs, and when you see here, yeah, well, if you go to the org, and you can see that is what you have with a lite account. And if you try to add a space and you want to change the region, you cannot change the region. So what you must do when you have a lite account, you must here in the app select the region which is aligned with your lite account. That's all. Okay, okay, that's also okay. Keep in mind, yeah, after the creation of the application, we have really a running application on the internet with the domain used here. What we also can select, yeah. I leave it by MyBlueMix, yeah. It's from the older days, and I like it. It's maybe that's a little bit shorter, but I like it also to remember. And that's the unique host name, yeah, for that domain, and that's the reason why these must be unique at the moment. Yeah, it seems very it seems nobody else on IBM Cloud for that region has chosen that name, so it works fine. Okay, let's move on. So now we come to the point where we set up the toolchain. When we set up the toolchain, that's related to the topic of the continuous integration and continuous delivery and all the organizational stuff for development topics. So just to reflect that is also a toolchain for the name. Also in the name I will just edit here toolchain so that we can see it. Okay, that's the region, yeah, where we created. That's a little bit different what you have seen before, but yeah, later you will see where it's all created. It works everything together. So I leave always a default so that you also can say, yeah, I just leave the defaults and I can just walk through. Yeah, okay. Now it starts with the creation. It takes a little bit, yeah. It now clones the code from here. Yeah, that's the code which defines how the setup of the Node-RED instance inside IBM Cloud is done. Yeah, there are as you know, there are different flavors of the possibility to set it up, so they must be very flexible in the configuration. Yeah, so if you want to take a look at the code, yeah, the code is here, how to set up. And now I was able to bridge the gap. Okay, So waiting until the rest comes up. Huh? Maybe I refresh the browser. Yeah, it's there. Okay, so it takes a little bit. So now we have our deployment automation there. And now we have here the toolchain. And we have two delivery pipelines. But I will not directly jump into these pipelines. I first will jump into the toolchain so that you get an overview how all is related. So now we're going to the toolchain. And you can see the toolchain setup means that in a toolchain you can put everything together which is related to the software development you are going to do here with what is for the continuous integration, but also for what you can see here with the issue tracking, some additional tools you can also add. I don't want to dig too deep in that part. So what is important now to understand is that we have, it seems so, duplicated Git repositories, but they are not duplicated. Yeah, so we harm it that everything is right. So what you see here, you can see here, that is, for example, the Git repository, which is also cloned into that toolchain. So we need for the configuration of our continuous delivery. So that means we are going to use here Tekton. And if you are not familiar with Tekton, I put in a link into the description of that stream already. Yeah, but I also will create some links maybe up there. I will position. Yeah. So and okay. So here you can see tasks definition. Yeah, and it's brand new. Can take a look how that works. And going back. Yeah, one step back. That was one, and then we have here the app itself. Because we see customizing that. That's exactly what the GitHub project is. Yes, you can see here. No, that's the code. Yeah, of the project. Yeah. So for the instantiation itself, okay, and then we have here a GitHub project which contains the Tekton catalog. Yeah, so for the continuous integration. Yeah, so and you can see here there are different tasks and pipeline, and so that means that code is utilized to build. Yeah, going back. Once back here, yeah, to set up these pipelines. There are two pipelines here. Why do we have two pipelines? We have one pipeline which is really responsible. What you can see here, I go now in that pipeline and show you. It's not this Tekton pipeline is not really for running. Yeah, because at the moment from the definition. At the moment for our situation, yeah, here are some definitions. You can see here the pipeline, toolchain, catalog, and everything what is here defined. Yeah. So, and by the way, if you are already familiar with Tekton, you will see that is more or less the same appearance you have when you work with other UI tools using Tekton. Okay, so now going back to the toolchain once more. So we go step by step to that, and now we go to the important part here. That is the continuous delivery. That is really the task, really to deploy the application itself. Okay. So now you see, okay. We have also here the definition of our pipeline information. That is also important to know. When you use Tekton, the pipeline has to run on a worker node, and that's the reason. Here we have an IBM managed worker node on Kubernetes cluster. You do not have to instantiate a Kubernetes cluster. That's cool. So it's just for you, so that we can use that with, or IBM can use it with Tekton, with the setup. And we have here the triggers. We can see when we later will change some code in the project. We automatically will trigger the start of that pipeline. And here's also the possibility for a manual run. So what could be here? So now we see here that's the pipeline run. We can see the running pipeline. It takes a little bit. The reason is, it's really the task what you should normally also should do. We extract a repository URL. You can watch the task and the steps which are done, fetching the token, git clone, doing some scanning, discovery scanning, vulnerability scanning, which is here, so you can also verify what happens, how that worked, And now we are very closely to the rolling deployment. Here's the build, how the build worked, status and so on. And that's how the Tekton works. And that is the difference to the video I will post maybe here or here. I created for the last time for the setup, and that's the major change. At least the rest is the same. So, and when we take a look at the resources, let us take a look at the resources during that time. So I will do the update here. So and I also created a blog post some times ago. You can see how many services did we instantiate during that process. So we created the app, the single point of entry. Then we created that Cloud Foundry database, and not Cloud Foundry, the Cloudant database. And if you want to bind a Cloudant database to a Cloud Foundry application, then you need it in this case to bind the application to that to bind the database to the application, because they do have different authentication mechanism. And that's the reason, in the context, if you use it with Cloud Foundry, then we need here the representation of the service to bind that directly to the application inside the node, inside IBM Cloud for the Cloud Foundry application. We need that. So we have 1, 2, 3. The continuous delivery, that is the service which is responsible for the delivery what you've seen. And here is also the toolchain we created. So, and this is you can have one instance if you are in a lite account. Okay, so we're really close, I guess, to the final creation. Go here. Oh, okay. The deployment. It's there. So if you are currently watching that video, you should be able also directly access my application. But I didn't set it up at the moment. And I will not say the password I use. So with that, That's the Cloud Foundry application. Here we have the connection. That's what I said with the connection. That's the representation, yeah, for the binding. And we go to the overview. Now we can directly visit the URL, and just to be in that stream a little bit more precise or more detailed, you can see here the roots. Yeah, this is the currently the root, and I just wrote also a blog post. You can also add your root, yeah, your domain and your certificate, yeah. To make that secure, because that's also that's also good. You have also an SSL certificate from a certificate authority. IBM use here Let's Encrypt, and that's cool, yeah. And everything is there, and you can use it with any preference in the browser, yeah. Okay, and that's name, and now I go to that, and now we finally at the setup. Yeah, we just go through that step, and now I will create my password. Not a weak one. I want to create. Oh, it's good or it's not good. Oh, not strong. Okay, make it strong. So if you're in a hackathon, yeah, and you want to provide others also access to your editor, yeah, to exchange the flow, so it's good that you directly select that. So we go moving forward, and just going here to say here finally, hopefully I didn't hopefully I do remember my password, because I changed it a little bit. Never for that side. Yeah, should I do that? I go to the here, and now I will see. You can see here that is secured. By the way, that's the certificate, yeah, which is there. Okay. Trusted one. Oh, it takes a little bit. Okay. Once again. Now, flow editor. Now it works. Okay. So that it is, and don't forget to log in, yeah. So, and then you can work with the Node-RED. I don't want to focus on the Node-RED itself. It's only about the setup, and yeah, I maybe put also in some additional videos I created for a total beginner. Yeah, maybe you are a total beginner, you can follow. I created I would say for myself a quite awesome total beginner flow, yeah, also with a UI, yeah, so that you also have the ability to use the UI inside Node-RED. And what I also want to do now, yeah, I also want to show you in the application details, in the resource list, the database, because that you can see when we now access the Cloudant database, so that you can see the information is stored there. So that's the Cloudant database which was created, and now we open up the dashboard. The Cloudant database is a non-SQL database, and you can see here now that's the name of my database, and that is what is stored there. We have the design documents, flows, and so on. Yeah, that was it. That's all. I do not know how long. It took 20 minutes, but 22 minutes or 23 minutes until we set up all that entire stuff, and it yeah, it's cool. Now you can going to change to download the project and change code there, or I don't want to forget to make that visible for you, really visible to you. These code, now we are back in the toolchain and going to the source code. Maybe I didn't highlight it here really. I want to say that that is the code, yeah, and that is the GitHub inside IBM Cloud. You can use inside IBM Cloud and doing also the editing stuff. So that is mount you can use. And here, if I would going now would go to change some of the layout. I do not know whether it's with the public. The image is the index HTML. Yeah. So, and I would access here. You can see here the header content, flow gaze, yeah, and I would say maybe when I go in here to edit it. That's the index HTML when you start up, yeah, the application, yeah. You saw the welcome page, and then I pressed the button to directly go to that. And when I change that is flow gaze programming for Internet of Things. Yeah, I do not know how to use it for Internet of Things. I use it here for the hackathon, or for the hackathon. Okay, so that's my configuration in my case. Updating Excel, I would say for fun. My information, then I commit that change, and with that change commit, yeah, I triggered the start here. When we go back to the pipeline, I would trigger a start for running the pipeline runs. You can see here now it starts once again. It takes a while, so I will not you can you can see here also that that was the commit, yeah, I did. And you can also see what was the change and all the other topics. Yeah, and that was it. That's all. I think that's a very cool thing directly to use it. I like Node-RED, as I said, not only really to use it on a device. It has so cool capabilities for really rapid prototyping, wiring, and understand it, talk to each other. And that's the reason why I also created that that stream right now, yeah, for me and for you. After hours, yeah, private time. And I would say hopefully it was useful for you, and I say thanks for watching my third live stream. I still have a coffee, but I guess it's cold. It's for the entire day. Yeah. I say thank you. And now I need to stop the stream. Bye.